Hey loves, it feels so good to be back. Today I am back with a new fall makeup look. Before I get into what this video is about, I quickly just wanted to thank all of you guys who left such really encouraging comments in my last video. It felt like such a relief getting all of that off my chest because it was something that has been bothering me for a little bit, quite some time now. And I wasn't sure the reaction that I would get with the upload, if I would get a lot of mean comments or not, but it felt really nice to get it off my chest, and then it felt even better to hear such supporting words and to know that some of you guys are going through a similar situation. I really appreciate that so much. Anyway, so with that being said, for those of you who don't care, today's look I thought that I would do a fall makeup look. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, please keep watching and don't forget to let me know what you guys want to see next. Without further ado, let's jump into the video.
Alright, so I'm starting off by prepping my skin with my Clinique Even Better Serum. I already put my moisturizer on, but I use this to kind of soften up some of the red spots. Then I am going in with my Sonia Kashuk Concealer Quad in the green shade, and I'm just going over any of the redness on my cheeks. And then once I do that, I'm going to go in with my Dior Air Flash Foundation. So I normally like spraying it really close to my face, and then I blend it out with the brush. A lot of people say to spray it on the back of your hand, but I found that I got the best coverage when I spray it really close to the areas that I want the most coverage first, and then I just buff it out with my Sephora foundation brush. This foundation is a bit light for me, so you'll see what I do to kind of balance it out at the end, because I do kind of look like a ghost right now. So to kind of warm it up, I'm going in with this is the Sephora, it's like a spray bronzer for the face. So I accidentally put too much on one side, but I just sprayed some on the back of my hand, and then I dipped my brush and just applied that to my cheekbones, under my jawline, and also on the sides of my forehead, just to warm up the skin and just to balance out the color of the foundation. Following that, I'm going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, and I believe this is in like light, medium, warm. So I'm just putting this in the areas that I normally like to highlight and conceal. Under the eyes in a triangle form, down the bridge of the nose, down the chin, and on the forehead. And this will just help kind of brighten up the skin a little bit more. And then I'm just going to blend that out using my Sephora Airbrush Concealer Brush. Airbrush? Yeah, Airbrush Concealer Brush. And to keep the concealer nice and bright, I like starting by just lightly blending out the edges and patting out underneath the eye, and I like leaving the center part kind of untouched so it stays nice and bright. So next, I was debating between using my Laura Mercier under eye brightening powder or my Airspun transparent powder. So I started with the Laura Mercier one, and I used to use this all the time, but now I remember why I stopped and kind of use the Airspun a little bit more, because I do like the way the Airspun looks a little bit more. They're both super fine. They both brighten up the under eye area, but I just feel like the Airspun gives a little bit more coverage under the eye, and considering I got no sleep, it helped conceal the dark circles a little bit better. So I ended up using that on both sides. And then I set the perimeter of my skin using my MAC Studio Fix foundation powder, and I believe it was like NC30. To fill in my brows, I'm using my Lancome. It's the pomade that they came out with, and I believe it's in the shade dark brown. So I'm just quickly filling in my brows, and then you'll see me kind of conceal under them a little bit just to clean it up, since they do need to be done desperately. Then I'm going to prime my eyelids, and I use my Aquatique eyeshadow base by Lancome. It's amazing. It literally keeps the eyeshadow on all day, and it's waterproof, and I like how it also conceals the eyelids too. Then I'm going to start by going in with Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek, and I'm just buffing that all throughout my crease as a transition shade for the other warm shadows to follow. So you just use a big fluffy brush and just kind of buff this back and forth. Following that, I'm using this bright yellow shade. I can't remember it, but I'm going in with a denser brush, and I'm just putting that just below the peach smoothie. I believe it's the shade Chickadee by Makeup Geek. Following that, I'm going in with Morocco by Makeup Geek, and I'm putting that kind of below the Chickadee, and this is really gonna intensify the warmth of the crease and the look, and I'm just really putting that in there and blending it, keeping it really close into the deep crease. And this is the MAC, I believe it's a 219 brush. I love it. It really helps you really blend really nice and deep into the crease while still having it defined but blended at the same time, if that makes sense. And then I'm taking my fluffy brush and I'm just softening up the edges so that there are no harsh lines. Then I'm going to take this really light cream shade in one of my Morphe palettes. I'm packing that under the brow bone. I'm kind of like baking my under eyebrow, if that makes sense, so that it's nice and intensely highlighted. Then I'm going to take a blending brush with a soft brown and I'm going to blend the light shade and the light orange shades together so that it's a really nice and smooth transition. And look, you can see the difference. Then I'm taking this L'Oreal Pressed Pigment. It's like a bright ruby shade. Let me check the exact color. So this one is in the shade Glistening Garnet by L'Oreal. It's like $7. I'm packing that with my MAC 242 and I did damp it with Fix Plus. I'm putting that on the first and the last third of my eyelid, leaving a space in the middle because I will be placing another eyeshadow there. So I'm doing the same thing for the other eye, and again, I wet my brush using Fix Plus, or you can use eye drops if that's what you have available. Then I'm taking this really deep eggplant purple. This was in my Morphe Smoky palette. Any deep purple will do, or you could just leave it with the garnet, but I wanted this look to be a little bit more smoky. So I'm kind of blending that on top of the ruby shade that I put on first. The reason I did that was so that way it would have more of like a pinky red base and wouldn't just be like a dark purple and almost look brown. And then once I do that, I'm going to place the gold shade in the same Morphe Smoky palette. I'm packing that with my finger right in the center, just kind of going back and forth and trying not to go on top of the purple areas too much. Following that, I'm using Amber Rush, the L'Oreal Pressed Pigment. This is by far one of my favorite pigments. So I'm packing that on. Again, I damped my brush with Fix Plus, and I'm putting that right on top of the gold and then softly blending out the corners of the purple shades. So you want to originally pack it right in the center and then lightly blend so that it blends nicely into the purples. And you'll see it gives a really cool duochrome effect to the eyes. So then to make sure everything blends into the crease, I'm going back in with Morocco, the orange shade, and I'm just lightly buffing that back and forth. Then I'm going to take the shade Bitten by Makeup Geek. It's a deep purple. I'm lightly putting that in the crease. That way the purple shade on the lid can slowly fade into the orange. So then to brighten up the under eye and get rid of any fallout, I'm going back in with some of the Airspun powder and a powder puff, and I'm just kind of rebaking my under eye. To contour, I'm using my L'Oreal True Match powder in the shade Cocoa, and I'm just lightly buffing that on my cheeks using my long comb cheek brush. For blush, I'm using one of my favorite blushes of all time. It's Shimmer Plum Affair by Lancome, and it's like a really deep plum pink shade. Super pretty for fall. I've seriously been using this blush every single day, and I'm lightly just buffing that on my cheeks. Then to highlight, I'm using the Champagne Pop by Becca Cosmetics. I love this highlighter, and I can't believe I hit pan. Like, I've never hit pan on a highlight. This is the only one I've hit pan on. So I'm literally dousing my face in that. I know it's fall, and I know like glow is all for summer, but I mean, who says you can't have glowy skin in fall? And I'm also placing that on my tear duct to brighten up the eyes as well. I'm going to take that same Bitten shade and I'm going to buff that on my lower lash line, lightly smoking it out, but I don't want to bring it too far down because I honestly want the under lash line to be kind of clean. And then to do my liner, I'm using my Grandiose liner by Lancome. This is my new favorite eyeliner. Guys, you have got to try it. It will change your life. It stays on all day and it's super pigmented, super smooth to apply. I love it. I'm taking Nylon by MAC and using that to highlight under my brow bone with a fluffy brush. And then I'm using my Lancome Sills Booster mascara primer and conditioner, and I'm putting that on my lashes because I don't want to use false lashes today, and this literally makes it look like false lashes. So I'm just putting a couple coats of that, and then I'm following that with my Grandiose Extreme mascara. Guys, I love this mascara. It's new, it gives you a lot of volume, a lot of length. Literally whenever I don't feel like going through the hassle of wearing fake lashes, I just use this combo. It literally makes it look like fake lashes. I love it. Next, I'm just taking my L'Oreal Eye Kohl and putting that on my waterline. And then to line my lips, I'm using this Jordana lip liner, and I believe it's called Berry. This one is called Plush Plum, actually. So I'm lining my lips, and then I'm going to use my NARS lipstick in the shade Scarlet. It came out looking a little bit red, so I ended up going over that with Rebel, and I blotted it, and there's the completed look. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Let me know what you want to see next, and until next time, bye.